What's up, everyone? Tools from Tools 360 here on YouTube, twitch.tv/Tools360 as well. Today I'm coming at you with obviously bigger news that dropped a little while ago now. I'm doing this video, of course, not as breaking news, but as just for me to discuss my opinions on this topic that is very close to my heart. Some of you may know, some of you may not. I am a New Englander by location and actually a Massachusetts born and raised. Now, Tom Brady is no longer a New England Patriots. Since the first time he played in 2001, I think he was drafted in 2000, maybe. Maybe it was even 2001. It was a while ago. How old was I when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl in 2001? I was, shit, so that's 19 years ago. 30, I was, holy crap. Math is hard. I also have to remember my ages. I am 31 right now, soon to be 32. So I was about 12 years old. I think it might have been 11 years old. I was in probably I want to say 6th grade, going to 7th grade, something like that. Anyways, it was a long time ago, and luckily, as a Patriots fan, Tom Brady brought us back from the dead. I remember the Drew Bledsoe days. Like I said, I've been a diehard Pats fan since I was born, season ticket holder in my family since about 1995, I believe. Um, yeah, so we've been around. Drew Bledsoe, great quarterback, still one of my favorite Patriots of all time. Passed over the reins to Tom Brady after Drew got hurt in the playoffs. Tom did a wonderful job, brought us to a Super Bowl, and from there it was just history. He brought New England 6 Super Bowls. Honestly, could have easily been 8 or 9 Super Bowl rings. We lost a couple very close games, of course, and this year kind of was a little bit of a disappointment. Although the team was just not there, and Pats fans could tell that this was close to the end. So, as most of you have probably already known by now, not much sports stuff going on because of the coronavirus, COVID-19. I wanted to talk about the Pats though, and Tampa Bay and Brady and all that sort of stuff. I haven't really done a sports video before, but I need to do some more of this type of content. So, diehard Patriots fan here for life. Still a Patriots fan after Tom Brady's announcement. It was a very sad day to actually see him go, and it kind of hit, I think, me and a lot of people in this area probably a little harder. Someone who's grown up with Tom and has really just changed our lifestyle and sports attitudes up here in the Boston area. Of course, Brady signed a 2-year, $50 million deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, as a fully stocked team around Brady, it's going to be a very interesting football season if we get to have football this year. Of course, Brady, 42 years old, going on 43. He's kind of up there in age for even a quarterback. I know I don't want to see what happens to Brady, what happened to Joe Montana. Went to another team, did not do very well. I wanted Brady to, like a lot of people, retire as a Pat. I think Brady, in my personal opinion, should have hung it up after this season. He actually probably should have hung it up after the last Super Bowl win. But he's a fighter. He's a competitor. He wants to keep playing. So the rumor is that around town here from many sources that the Patriots and Bill Belichick in specific didn't want to bend over backwards for Brady, considering he's a 42-year-old quarterback, and what he's shown from this last year is he can't really throw anymore. Which I understand from a football move why the Patriots didn't even offer him a contract or try to bring him back. Tampa Bay is basically rolling out the red carpet for Brady, and they're going to give Brady a much stronger commitment and a stronger commitment to winning, I think, at this point than the Patriots were. Brady, over the years, has taken many pay cuts and stuff to try to keep a good team around him, and of course, you all know the results. 6-time Super Bowl champ. He should do good with Tampa, but we'll see. So this offseason, he never even got a contract offer from the Patriots. Like I said, the Patriots weren't going to bend over backwards for him. They weren't going to come at him with a bunch of money either. So they kind of knew from the start that I think Brady wasn't coming back. I said right from the get-go last season that this was Brady's last year in New England. that I would hope he would retire, but I know he is a competitor and he wanted to play somewhere else. So the Pats made a good football decision, um, but from Brady's end too, it's also a good football decision. I think going to another team, getting a kind of boost and a kind of like a refresh to him would be good for his career if he were to keep playing. And I think he made the right choice and went to the right team. If he went to the team such as Las Vegas, who does not have a good team, he probably would not have been that successful. But Tampa Bay is loaded offensively. So Brady, of course, so much respect from the fans still. There's billboards up everywhere. We're all sad to see him go. I think, like myself and hopefully many other Patriots fans, will follow the Buccaneers this season and will support Brady and cheer him on and hope he can make another run and add another ring. I will definitely root for Tampa Bay, no doubt. I am traditionally a Patriots fan, with the Cowboys being my second team, and also enjoy watching Vikings football. I will definitely root for Tampa Bay, probably even over Dallas this season. Dallas is kind of falling apart, but that's a whole nother video. Um, so much respect from the fans, right from the heart. Brady, we love you. We still love you. We're gonna watch you. We're gonna support you. Um, but we're in for some rough times coming ahead as Patriots football fans. It's worth it though, from all the glory and all the rings and stuff you brought us. As soon as the season was over, like I said, last game went down. There's no way he was coming back the way the season went down and the way things shaped up over the year. Pats started really good. I think they run the first 9 or 10 games, then they hit Baltimore, and it's just a downhill spiral from there. The team started falling apart around him, and unfortunately, Pats lost many, many good players in the offseason so far this year. Um, I thought, like I said, personally, should have retired. Patriot hung him up, but from a fan perspective, I think it would be very hard for a lot of people to watch Tom struggle in Tampa Bay if he were to struggle. Like I said, his only question really is how much of an arm he has left. If he can get the ball down the field to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, or if he's going to be kind of a dink and dunk offense to Godwin. Godwin can also play the slot, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Also a good slot tight end in O.J. Howard. So we will see. Like I said, way more weapons around him. Godwin is an absolute beast. Had him on my fantasy team this year. Led me to a second place finish and some big bucks. Godwin's an absolute stud. He is way better than Mike Evans, in my opinion. They also have Mike Evans, who's more of a deep threat. Godwin is so versatile. He can go deep. He can play the slot. O.J. Howard around him. Running backs are a little weak, but they have Ronald Jones, who really started coming together. And I think they still have, I think is it Peyton Barber? No, not Peyton Barber. Someone like that. I can't remember the guy. Oh, no, not Doug Martin. Doug Martin's old school. Anyways, they got some running backs that can catch the ball, though. So it's going to be interesting because obviously we know in the Patriots offense the last couple of years has been a dink and dunk, run the ball, play defense, because I think Brady and Belichick lost faith in Brady's arm. So we'll see how he can do with a more explosive offense. And definitely some way better receivers than New England could ever put out since the Randy Moss days, basically. I could see the Bucs going, though, this year with Brady, depending on if he can really bring that extra leadership factor to them. They could rattle off 12 wins. More realistically, I think there will be about a 10-7, 11-6 team. Of course, the season expanded to 17 games recently, so I see them making the playoffs. It's possible they could win the division, but they'll probably be in one of the wild card slots in the NFC. That would be my personal guess. You still have some tough teams in the NFC, including the Saints. Panthers are done. So you got the Saints, you got the Rams. The Rams I don't think are that good. Jared Goff is highly overrated, and their coach is overrated. Um, More importantly, as a Patriots fan, what does this mean for the Pats going forward? It means right now the quarterbacks on our roster are Jarrett Stidham, Cody Kessler, and now who they just signed yesterday, Brian Hoyer back, who's a longtime Patriots veteran, backup quarterback to Brady. I think it should be a three-way competition going into camp. Honestly, the dark horse here, and in my opinion, and who I think the Pats should start with their quarterback as, is Cody Kessler. Everyone's throwing out Jarrett Stidham, of course, that he's the next Brady. He's the leader of the team now. I don't buy that. I don't think Stidham is that good from what I've seen from him. He needs a lot of work, I think. Cody Kessler is more of a veteran. He's been around. And now Brian Hoyer, I think honestly they're going to go with Hoyer for a year or two and see what they can do. It's going to be tough though because of the defensive players they lost this year. But I really think between the three, I think Cody Kessler is the best option. I would actually rank them Cody Kessler, Hoyer, and then Stidham to win now. I think they brought in Hoyer to maybe start a year or two, let Stidham sit on the bench a little more, learn more, and then take over the reins from there, which he may be better off doing that. And I think that's a smart move. But maybe I'm just too high on Cody Kessler. I like Cody Kessler. I think he can play. Um, Never had much to work with being on the Browns, and I don't remember where else he ended up since then. Um, but I think he's got some potential, and this should be an interesting training camp this year. So I think they should go with Kessler, but obviously I think realistically the opening day starter is going to be Jarrett Stidham. Um, Hoyer might be in there just for camp, just to kind of teach Stidham some more, but Hoyer really said, I want to win the starting job. So we shall see. Realistically, out of the three, Cody Kessler is probably the long shot, but again, I would surprise him, and he could come up as a dark horse. There's also been some rumors that are kind of squashed now since they signed Hoyer that they're bringing in another quarterback that's out there. Top choice that everyone was throwing around was Andy Dalton. Do not want to see Dalton at all in a Pats uniform. I hate Andy Dalton. He's terrible. I always end up with him on my fantasy team, and he's just the overall just average bum. Um, can't throw the ball, can't run. He can't do anything right. I think he's horrible. I would not bring Andy Dalton in. The other interesting choice that I think would be a much better option than Dalton and would probably be a better option than Stidham, Kessler, or Hoyer would be Cam Newton. Um, Rumored to be leaving Carolina. Carolina just actually signed P.J. Walker from the XFL, which is an interesting sign. Um, Cam Newton, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Pats uniform. It would bring a different dynamic to the office, although watching Newton last year, he's kind of thrown in the towel as well on his career. So I don't think he'll be doing much of anything really. He might stay in Carolina and play, but he could be washed up at this point. Um, so do you want to go younger with, say, like a Stidham, or do you want to bring in Newton for 3 or 4 years, see what he can do? Personally, I'd go with Newton. The people we lost out on in free agency were Teddy Bridgewater. Would have loved to see him come to New England. He can still play. Recovered from a nasty, drastic knee injury, and he's a fighter, and he can play, and he can ball. Would have loved to see Bridgewater. I think he actually signed with Carolina too. Um, I'm not mistaken. I would have to look that up, but let me actually check. Why not? This will be a longer video. Um, Let me pull this up here. Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, so he did sign with the Panthers. So they got P.J. Walker and Bridgewater. The talk around there now is that P.J. Walker and Bridgewater are going to have a hell of a camp battle trying to figure out who the starting quarterback is. Because Walker looked pretty nuts in the XFL. But we'll see. It's the NFL to probably go to Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater is a stud. I think he can still have a really good career for at least a few seasons. Would like to see him in a Pats uniform. He would have been my number one choice. Number two choice was the quarterback that I said the Patriots would end up starting next year as soon as the season was over, and that was Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill had a huge resurgence this year in his career for Tennessee, playing in a Patriot-style offense, a Mike Vrabel-led team. I thought Tannehill would be awesome coming to New England, and he waited out. He waited to see what Brady was going to do. He did not sign until his mind was made up. But Tannehill decided to ultimately go back to the Titans. I think Titans could be a really dark horse team this year too. Tannehill thrives with a good offense. He would have been awesome with Bill Belichick, I think. And I'm really sad we missed out on him. Another choice we missed out on was Marcus Mariota, also from the Titans. He went to Los Angeles. The Raiders are going to give him a shot. Sorry, not Los Angeles, Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to give him a shot. He was just a name out there, more versatile quarterback than a lot of what would fit Patriots offense. I think Mariota's pretty garbage, and it's a bad signing by anyone, but he was also out there. Again, I would have loved Tannehill or Bridgewater. God, just Tannehill. I said at the end of last year, Ryan Tannehill is going to be a New England Patriot because his career just resurged out of nowhere. He was dead in the water, and with a good coach and a good system, what he could do. I think Titans are going to be nasty this year, to be honest. They could end up in the Super Bowl, but we will see. And again, they're a Patriot product with Mike Vrabel there. I would root them on, definitely. Um, and the main killer for the Patriots, again, they lost so many defensive players in free agency. They lost Harmon to the Lions, Shetland to, I think, to the Lions, Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy to the Dolphins. Their whole draft is going to be defense, 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 which sucks because they always need offensive line help, especially this year. Their offensive line was pretty trash last year. Let's not play. Brady didn't have protection last year like he normally would have. The defense really tailed off towards the end of the year. They just got tired. I think they were on the field way too long this season. They lost so many good defensive players. They are going to struggle next year. Um, Honestly, with the losses in free agency, they haven't even signed anyone in free agency. They're still gonna win some games because you have Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time there. You still have some weapons. They're probably gonna get about 7 wins this year, I think. They're gonna miss the playoffs. They're gonna be 7-10. If anything, they sneak in with the last wild card spot at like an 8-9 record. The Buffalo Bills are gonna run away with the division this year with Josh Allen at QB and some weapons around him. It's going to be a really tough season for Patriots fans. I think the next 5 years are going to be extremely tough as a Patriots fan. You could see some seasons where they win 2 to 5 games, somewhere in that range. The NFL these days has a lot more parity, and you don't see as many bad teams like that. You see a lot of more average teams, anywhere from 6 to 8 or 9 wins. But I think that they were going to be in, and it's expected after being successful for 20 years that you have a little bit of a downside once there's a change in leadership. Um, I'm still going to root for Tom Brady. I'm still going to root for my dear Patriots. I wish Brady the best of luck, and I hope he can make a good run with Tampa Bay, finish out his career there. But it's really, really sad to not see him in a Pats uniform, and I really wish he would have hung it up. But I'm going to stick by him, support him, and of course, hope that my Patriots can start rebuilding. If anyone can rebuild a team, I think it's Kraft and Bill Belichick and the people in that organization. They either are going to pull a really big surprise and trade a bunch of picks and draft a high quarterback either this year. If not, they're going to tank for a season, draft a good quarterback next year. Because I don't think Stidham's the guy. I really don't. And it's going to be interesting. Watching football as a New England fan is going to be more interesting going forward, I think, because we're so used to winning. And yeah, it's going to be tough, but we're going to stick by our Pats and we'll see what we can do. And thank you all for watching this long video as I kind of went over my thoughts on the whole Brady situation. Um, I'm going to be doing more sports videos and try to do more videos in the future for sports stuff. So I greatly appreciate you all watching. And again, Tom Brady, much respect. It's going to be sad without you, buddy. Peace out.